Are you ready to have your business take off? Today, we're going to talk about how you can use real-time personal response on your website to engage and convert customers. Hi, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing, where we believe marketing shouldn't be difficult. All you need is the right plan. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am really excited to have with me today Beth Bogan from Ace Chat. Beth, welcome and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me, Tim. I'm really excited to be here. This is a real pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, absolutely. I've been looking forward to this conversation because we've been hearing about chat, but not a lot of people are using it, I think. And so I think we're really going to get into the nitty gritty and demystify it a bit. So I am looking forward to it. Before we get into it, look, we're both entrepreneurs. A lot of the people that are listening to this are business owners, entrepreneurs. What do you love most about being an entrepreneur and business owner?
That is the easiest question for me because my team. That is my answer. They are amazing. Without them, I can't do what I do. I'm completely reliant on them, and they are the most amazing group of women. They are so compassionate and kind and dedicated, not only to each other, but to me. And they love what they do, and it really shines through what they do and how they do it. They're just a wonderful, supportive group of women who I simply couldn't do this without. So that's an easy one.
Awesome.
So obviously freedom, but my team is where it's at.
Yeah, that's awesome. You just touched on mine. Mine is it's the freedom. It's making your own way. Yes, there are always things that are beyond your control. I don't care what you're doing, but there is so much freedom in being an entrepreneur. And for me, once I got a taste of that, I couldn't do anything else. So, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs are that way. So tell us a little bit more about you personally and Ace Chat and what you're doing to help business owners.
So I started this as a way to kind of help provide for my family. And I never thought, I'm actually entering my 10th year of business. This August is 10
Awesome.
years. And I feel like this is this huge milestone. It literally dawned on me probably in November. Oh my God, I've been in business for 10 years. And it feels so good. And everyone who's an entrepreneur gets the struggle. They know the blood, sweat, and tears. They know in the beginning, it owns you way more than you own it. And,
Yes.
just the scratching and clawing and scraping for every little place that you've gotten and just the honor it is to provide excellent service for your clients is amazing. So I love what I do. And, really, we work with a lot of dental practices as well and kind of helping people change their lives with smiles. But just that element of really genuine, personalized care that has not been outsourced in any way, shape, or form, and giving people the kindness that we kind of sometimes miss in this day and age, and just being genuine and thoughtful is really kind of what we love about what we do.
Yeah. And with chat, are most of your customers service based or?
Yes. And we work with a lot of medical practices, mostly dental. And so our goal is to basically just kind of be an extension of the online team. I tell people it's almost like we're an online receptionist or a concierge for your business. When somebody comes to your site, we act like part of your team. And we know a lot about your business because we work to get to know you. And that's how we're able to really convert leads and help generate a much higher ROI.
Okay. So for most, just to make sure everybody's on the same page, when we're talking about live chat, it's the little thing that pops up in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, usually when I visit a website, right? Does it come in any other forms?
So that's a great question. And we've kind of seen the evolution of chat over the last 10 years. When we very first started, very few people had chat. Now it's becoming more of an expectation. It actually is showing it's a preferred form of communication, provided there are certain parameters in place. But it's when you go to the website, you can do it on phone, you can do it on tablet, you can do it on laptop, and you go to the site and a little widget pops up and it says, "Hi, how can we help you?" That's exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So when we look at marketing, there's a number of different channels, there's tons of different tactics. what makes chat stand out from some of the other tactics and channels that people may be using?
So I tell people all the time, and this is a totally gross example, but it makes people giggle. Tim, as the marketing expert, you are the Nike shoe and you help get them where they need to be. I am with chat, the awesome, cushy, sweat wicking sock. So I work perfectly alongside of you. And it really helps to maximize whatever marketing investment that you have. You're sending people to your site and we're there to interact with them. So it just brings a much higher ROI. We seamlessly interface with all websites. We look good. We actually, as a team, check every single chat site that we chat for every single day to make sure the site is up and functioning and that chat is working. We have an immediate response time. And from personal experience, I think I can speak for most people as well when I say being on hold stinks. And
Yes.
there's no hold time with our chat. The other thing that we really noticed this past year, which was so cool, during the pandemic, we were really able to help our clients because when they were unable to be open any kind of stable hours, in fact, the dental industry was shut down, we were there. We were there to answer their questions. We were there to serve their patients, whether pandemic, on holidays, as far as I'm taking a week off to be with my kids in the summer. That's when we're there to help patients. So you name it, we're here. And that really kind of makes a huge difference, especially for small business owners when they really need an extra person on board.
Yeah. So it seems like chat addresses that immediate need. You can engage with the customer when the fire's hot, right? They're ready to go. And none of us, like you said, like to get voicemail or wait for a response. And chat enables us to respond immediately when the need is right there.
That's exactly right. And I think one of the ways that we kind of really help our customers is by filling that gap that they have. They have a gap between their website and them, and we're able to fill that gap and really answer those immediate questions, get them the help that they need so that they're much more likely to convert from a passive site visitor into an active customer.
Got it. So that kind of leads into our next question here, which is, is chat really going to help my customers and my in-office team? How does this end up unfolding?
Okay, so I'm going to circle this one kind of back around to my team because my team's a cohesive team. You don't need to worry about who's answering the chats for you. Our service is the same across the board. So we kind of provide that stability as far as quality customer service goes, number one. Number two, listening is something that sets us apart. So we're really trying to hear what the customer wants and be able to answer the question as quickly as possible. And then, of course, small businesses especially need probably extra hands and can't necessarily afford to employ a full-time person. You are employing us for way more than full-time for way less than the cost of a part-time person. So it's really beneficial to the team because we can kind of help alleviate the work. I tell people all the time, it's like we're your marionettes. You tell us what to say for you so that we can best help you, best help your customers, and really drive up those conversions. And I think, the personalization that we offer is unique to every client we have, like the marionette example. It's an opportunity for us to get to know them, and then we can kind of help differentiate them and set them apart even in their own community. Like, oh, these people have chat and they're very helpful. And we want to be that warm, welcoming, right out of the gate kind invitation to, hey, do business with us. We care about you.
Yeah. So so one of the things that's setting you apart is you have real people that are responding to these inquiries that come off the website. How do you get up to speed on how to answer these questions that are coming up and come across like you are part of that organization and that culture?
Well, for our dental clients, we have a checklist because there's so many. We do this, we do that. I actually had one of my clients in Michigan tell me, I would rather run another Ironman than fill out your checklist because it is so intensive. But I really want to get to know people. I want to know if their handicap is accessible. I want to know if, if somebody who's mobility impaired gets to the office, will they be able to get in? I want to know who the people on the team are going to be following up with them. I want to know, what the most often asked, kind of their FAQs. What are the most questions you're going to be most frequently asked? So I can answer them in advance of them even getting on the phone to you. We want to help with scheduling. If they have online scheduling software, we can get somebody scheduled right away during the chat. So it really is a great opportunity to serve not only the site visitors, your customers, your patients, but also your team as well, because we can really help them promote specials
How
as well.
how much with your clients, what do you find is the breakdown between prospect interactions and current customer interactions? Do you have any idea?
That's a great question. And I would say, and you would probably be able to verify this, it kind of depends on their marketing.
Yeah.
In where they're spending their marketing dollars, how hard are they pushing for new patients or customers? We also have
Got it.
people, if they call the office and they're not available, they say, hey, our in-office team's helping another customer right now. Go to our website and chat with us, where you can get an instant response. So it kind of on some level falls back onto the choices of the business owner. How hard are you going to make me work for you? Because we're here and we want to work for you, but how clever are you going to be in making sure that you drive people to the sites that we can help?
Yeah.
Back to your initial question, it really depends on the marketing. Some people have repeat customers, repeat patients. They know that we're there, so they go straight to the site, ask their question, get it, try to answer it as quickly as possible. If we can't answer it, we say, hey, we'll reach out to you as soon as we can. Let's research this for you. So we always do our best to make sure that they know that we are a part of the team. We never want them to know that we're outsourced.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So it's the interaction is seamless for the customer or the
Yeah.
prospect, which so this leads into the this last question that I think this is a great question. One of the things that for me personally that bugs me about chat, and we were we were chatting about this before, is that so many people that use chat, it's automated, and or it pops up and it's like, hey, let us answer your question now, and you start typing it in, and it says our response is going to be typical response time is by tomorrow or within 3 hours, and to me that's just it's not setting a really good expectation or experience for the client. It's like, well, gosh, I might as well have just emailed you to get my answer. And it bugs me too when I know that I'm interacting with a bot. And most of the time, bots have not gotten good enough where you don't know. I think most of us know. So how much of the chat options that are out there are automated or a bot versus live, which, obviously at Ace Chat, you guys are doing live. How much of it out there is automated?
So that's a really great question. And I can kind of, again, loop it back to my almost 10 years now of experience. There were very few bots back in the day. It was really like it was more human driven.
Yes.
Now there are so many bots, and yes, the bots have gotten better than they used to be, but it's basically an internet phone tree and nobody likes the phone tree. So
No.
it just doesn't, or you can tell it is very much outsourced. Now, big companies, I get that, but small companies, they really need to be making sure that they're providing their customers with a chat that doesn't stink. Because let's face it, it has a reputation of being not a positive experience anymore because of all bot driven stuff. We are completely no bot at all. Completely US based service. Again, very kind and compassionate, willing to really generate relationships with our clients. There's no internet phone tree. I would say that we're one of the very few services out there. I don't really know of anybody else who does what we do. In fact, I am really interested in building relationships with clients. Somebody called me yesterday and she's all stoked to get her dental practice in California back on board and start up with chat. And she was referred to somebody who's been a client of mine since 2012. And he actually emailed me shortly after Christmas and said, I love working with you. I can't believe that we're working together so long. And when I see him, which isn't often enough, I hug him. Like, I make relationships with the people I work with. And that is so not typical. And we love that about our company and what we do. We are not at all interested in anything other than forming personal relationships.
So if somebody's thinking about adding chat to their site, what recommendations or tips would you have? I mean, obviously, I'm going to tell them that they need to talk to you, but if they're just in the beginning stages and they want to do their research, what should they be looking for? I mean, are there specific questions that they should ask if they feel like they need to use an automated service because of whatever, maybe it's less money, they think it's going to be more efficient, I don't know. What do they need to ask? What pitfalls should they be looking for?
I would say first thing is make sure you're not locked into a contract. If you're locked into a contract, it's because they can't provide you excellent service month to month.
Yeah. Okay.
So that would be a big red flag for me. Another thing would be outsourcing. Another thing would be the 24/7 pitfall. It is we have really gone down that road. We have done our research. We have done our due diligence, and the reality is, with very rare exception, if somebody is chatting with you at 2:00 in the morning, they're probably not a qualified lead. It's just that is not the market that you're going for. I don't even, whatever business you're in, that is not your market. So that I would say would be another red flag. It's really just not necessary. And I would say too that you want to be asking specifically about what is your response time? What is your average response time? I can tell you the average in the industry, according to a study I read probably back in October or November of 2020, was a little over 2 minutes. And I get to be honest with you, I don't know where they got that from because I'm not buying that based on my personal research or personal experience with chat.
Yeah.
But our response time is 11 seconds.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's fast. I can tell you even automated, I am not used to it. It's at least a minute in my experience to get an answer. Or if I am getting an answer, I'm getting an automated answer that's saying, did you check out these? Have you seen these 3 articles that might answer your question? It's not somebody that's starting to interact. So, wow, that's interesting. So what's response time? Don't fall into the 24/7 trap. You don't need to, people don't expect you to have awesome service at 1:00 in the morning. And I love what you said about those people probably aren't your best customers or prospects. And then I'm missing something that you talked about in the beginning, I think.
Contract. That to me is my biggest one. Please don't let anybody talk you into a contract because that to me says I don't have best service for you and I'm just gonna take your money and then in a year we won't still have a relationship anymore. So you want to look with somebody. I would also say, especially for small business owners, which is, who we're marketing to right now and who we're speaking to right now, make sure that the people that are chatting for you actually give a rip about who you are and what you do, because they are the face of your company. That is the first interaction that they see. How is that chat team that you employ going to be treating your prospective customers?
Yeah. And I would tell owners, once you do have chat, go use it yourself and see what happens.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm shocked by the few amount of people who don't. We call it test chatting. Test chat us.
Yes.
And give us the opportunity to make sure that we know all the information so that we can really best serve you. Treat us like part of your team. Give us the information that says, hey, we're closing early today because we've got a team meeting. I mean, it just improves not only the in-office team satisfaction, but also the satisfaction of the customers as well. And that is this is what chat is supposed to do. Improve satisfaction and help people.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. So Beth, where you've shared some awesome information, where can people learn more about you if they're interested in looking at chat and how they can integrate that into their business?
So our website is acechatservice.com. You can go there. You can, of course, chat with our team. You can also call me. You can text me. I tell people Skype me, WhatsApp me, whatever it is. The easiest way for you to communicate is how I'm gonna communicate with you back to you. My number is 720-722-0223. It's a lot of twos, but it'll get me. You can also just chat with our team on our site, and then we'll be able to help you. We're looking to grow in 2021 in our 10th year, which we're so excited about, and we would be delighted to help answer questions on how we might be of assistance to you.
Awesome. So I will say, if you guys want to engage customers, improve your customer service, and you're thinking about chat, reach out to Beth over at Ace Chat. The thing that I love about what they're doing is they got actual people. Obviously, as you can tell by this conversation, I'm not a huge fan of bots at this point. So reach out to Beth. I know that they'll do great work for you. Beth, I want to thank you for taking the time. You offered a ton of value here. And for those that are tuning in, listening, watching, I really appreciate you doing so. Again, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing. If you want to gain clarity on where to focus your marketing efforts right now, hop on over to our website at rialtomarketing.com. That's RIALTO marketing.com. Click on the Get a Free Consultation button. I guarantee you will get a ton of value from the call and walk away knowing where you need to focus your marketing efforts right now. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, take care.